The Greek finance minister, Yanis Varoufakis, has resigned. The move came completely out of the blue after the overwhelming victory of the no vote in the Greek referendum on bailout conditions. Varoufakis was campaigning for the rejection of further austerity in exchange for more funds from creditors. He had said that he'd likely resign if the people voted yes. But just several hours ago, when the referendum was underway, he seemed determined to keep his job.
Would you resign if there's a yes vote?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And there won't be a yes vote.
Tonight,
so you're stuck with me.
If there's a yes vote?
But in just the last hour, he apparently tweeted, "Minister no more." That's just hours after he was celebrating and praising the Greeks for overwhelmingly voting to reject further spending cuts. And the night before his resignation, some journalists noticed one light remained on at the Ministry of Finance, with speculation it was his office. Earlier, the cameras caught the finance minister as he arrived on his motorbike at the residence of the Greek Prime Minister. Casually dressed, holding a mobile phone, he headed to discuss the referendum results with Alexis Tsipras. Following that meeting, Varoufakis emerged with a warning for Europe.
Από αύριο, η Ευρώπη, της οποίας η καρδιά σήμερα το βράδυ χτυπάει στην Ελλάδα, αρχίζει να γιατρεύει τις πληγές της, τις πληγές μας. Το όχι το σημερινό είναι ένα μεγάλο ναι στη δημοκρατική Ευρώπη. Είναι ένα όχι στο όραμα της Ευρωζώνης ως απέραντο σιδερένιο κλουβί των λαών της.
The Greek finance chief has published a statement on his website saying, quote, "I was made aware of a certain preference by some Eurogroup members for my absence from the meetings." Now, for more on this, let's bring in Ernst Wolf, German journalist and author of World Power IMF. Ernst, thanks for coming on RT. A very appropriate moment to have you. This announcement just come through. It's caught a lot of people by surprise. How intense must the pressure have been to produce this result, completely unexpected, Varoufakis leaving?
Well, the thing is, it just goes to show the true system of power that Greece is living under at the moment. Greece has been dominated by the institutions, that is the ECB, the EU and the IMF, since 2010. And the Greek government cannot do anything without the consent of these three institutions. And if they don't want Varoufakis at the table, then Varoufakis has to go. The Greek government is not a sovereign government. They have to get the consent of the three institutions for every single decision that they make. And that will stay like that, and we will see a sharpening of the decisions of these three institutions during the next few days.
Yeah, and it seems from what Varoufakis has said on his blog that his decision followed discussions with Alexis Tsipras and that they saw this as the best way for Greece to go forward. There definitely has been pressure on the Greek leadership. It's been mounting recently. Let's just take a quick listen.
Okay.
This government has done nothing since it came into office. It's reneged on previously agreed commitments. You can't, in all honesty, expect us to talk with them in a situation like this.
Given the political situation, the rejection of the previous proposals and the no advice of the Greek government, we see no ground for further talks at this point.
I'm blaming the Greeks to tell things to the Greek public which are not consistent with what I told the Greek Prime Minister.
I mean, there's no doubt Varoufakis was a key ally for Alexis Tsipras. How will the Prime Minister manage now without this key minister alongside him?
Well, I don't think he's going to stay in power for much longer, because we're expecting some very harsh measures from the institutions this week. They will have to act. I mean, Greek banks have been bankrupt for quite a while, and they have been only able to survive on emergency liquidity assistance by the ECB, and that has expired. So they don't have any money that will last them for more than 1 or 2 days. And what will happen after that? I think that we will face a bail-in. That is, the institutions will raid the deposits and the savings accounts of the people of Greece this week, and that will lead to social upheaval, and that might even lead into a civil war. And I think that Varoufakis and Tsipras are seeing this very clearly, and that they have no way of fighting this anymore. I think that we won't see them in power anymore within like 2 weeks.
OK, thanks so much for speaking to us, Ernst. Sorry, let's just finish your point.
I think their days have been counted because we're seeing who really rules Greece right now. And Greece is ruled by the Troika, by the institutions, by the ECB. The ECB is going to have an emergency meeting today or tomorrow, and they're going to decide. They want their emergency liquidity assistance, which runs up to about 100 million euros. They want that back. And the only way to get it back is by looting the deposits of small investors and savers in Greece.
Yeah, there is no doubt this is going to be a huge day for Greece, huge day for the EU and for a lot of investors as well on the financial markets. Thanks for speaking to us. That's Ernst Wolf, German journalist and author of World Power IMF.
Thank you.
Now, it's a big twist of events, but throughout the night, Greeks had been celebrating after overwhelmingly rejecting further austerity in exchange for another bailout from international creditors. Jubilant crowds had flooded the streets of Athens after Sunday's referendum.
No to Germany! No to austerity!
The final tally showed 61% voting no to bailout conditions offered by international creditors. 39% had said yes. The results meant an uncertain future for Greece and for the Eurozone itself. But last night in Athens, well, it was all about celebrating the outcome, as RT's Ilya Petrenka reports.
It was a difficult and a very long journey for the No campaign, but now it's their time. They can celebrate, sing songs. I can see people hugging each other here, and everyone is extremely happy. Now, can you share your emotions with me after the dance?
Extraordinary! Excited! I feel proud to be Greek! We love Europe, but they don't love us!
We owe a lot to Tsipras, who stood up against all our enemies, against all the people who wanted to suffocate Greece.
So it was so much propaganda against Tsipras from the press here in Athens, from abroad, so much pressure against the government, but truth is truth.
The people here tell me that they deserve it, and it's going to be a big night for them.
RT's Ilya Petrenka reporting there. Now, the Greek Prime Minister said that the no victory has given him greater strength to continue negotiations. He also stressed how important the referendum was for European history.
Το σημερινό δημοψήφισμα δεν έχει νικητές και ηττημένους. Αποτελεί μια μεγάλη νίκη από μόνο του. Σήμερα όλες και όλοι μαζί γράψαμε μια λαμπρή σελίδα στη σύγχρονη ευρωπαϊκή ιστορία. Αποδείξαμε ότι ακόμα και στις πιο δύσκολες συνθήκες η δημοκρατία δεν εκβιάζεται.
What the Greek no means for the rest of Europe is now a question being asked right across the bloc. With the news dominating today's front pages, the headlines proclaim everything from Europe in crisis to the moment of truth. While Greece was celebrating the referendum result, there was thunder and lightning in Berlin, literally. Many Twitter users, well, they thought this was a fitting coincidence. Some suggested it was the Greek vote firing up the weather, others asking if it could be the Greek gods punishing Germany. Meanwhile, EU officials have said that the ball is now firmly in Athens' court.
The conclusions to be drawn from the referendum must be decided first and foremost in Greece. That's why the ball is now in Athens' court.
This is a difficult day, and the promise of Prime Minister Tsipras to the Greek people that with the no, the position of Greece for negotiating a better deal would become better is, in my eyes, not true.
I have taken note of the results of the referendum. This outcome is regrettable for the future of Greece.
Get more information on the Greek vote and the reaction it's triggered. Head to rt.com. Our online team, they're very busy. They've prepared an interactive map tracing the rallies held in solidarity with Athens.